hate puppies.
Right back to it.
Good podcast.
Love it.
I feel threatened. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking this week. I think we got a good one. Well, we have 15 of them.
I'm not sure if I can drink 15 beers.
You can drink 15 beers.
Probably.
I know you can. You're a liquor guy.
I am a liquor guy.
And this week, our beers are brought to us by our friend Joe, which I'm actually super excited about. We had a Venmo donation this week. Ooh.
Fancy.
I like that.
Lots happened in the past week.
A lot has happened in the past week. Can't wait to catch up on all of it.
How have you guys been?
Been good.
Good to hear.
Been kind of a numb week, being honest.
I feel like a lot of my week was consumed with urination.
All of ours were. Thanks, Dave. You really nailed it.
That's what he does.
No, he's crushing it. I don't even know where to go with that. I see Dave's picking up right where he left off. He picked up his beer. The coaster came with it. I don't think that's how coasters work. He's still knocking shit over. Do you know what that coaster says on it?
No.
Have you even read it?
No.
Read that out loud for me.
That candle smells like Fireball. Next quote. Us non-alcoholics like to call that cinnamon, Becky.
I've always been a fan of that coaster.
It's one step away from Live, Laugh, Love on the Wall, in my opinion.
It actually
it's
was
not far from that.
It's a big difference.
What's that throw pillow on the couch say?
Pull out. It's a pull-out couch. Oh, I get what you... Oh, maybe that's why it was on sale. Makes sense.
Someone
couch?
pulled out on it?
Yeah, it was marked down dramatically.
It's not a sleeper sofa.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to get that out. You even use the OxyClean. Tide pen, whole nine. Pretty gross. So then I just figured I'd cover the rest of the pillow in it. Now it all matches.
It's one universal stain.
Yeah. See, that's a little pro tip. That's
I
how
think you once said,
I don't know where this is going.
oh man, I think you once said, I remember being on a podcast with you one time and you were like, the best place to let it go is on a sofa to masturbate. I remember you
Why
had like,
would I say that?
It does sound like something.
His own sofa?
oh,
Or
his
like
own
a-
sofa. Yeah. He goes, whenever I'm alone,
Or
I
the rooms
rub
to
one
go.
out on the sofa.
I could see
Okay,
it.
no, but that's different. I'm not finishing on the sofa.
You're not finishing it, but you're rubbing it out on the sofa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's too... He did
too-
not phrase that well.
Yeah, no, we were talking. I was like, I have never intentionally finished on the sofa.
Like, I'm about to orgasm. Let me walk over to the couch where I should finish.
yeah, come creeping out of the bathroom all awkward,
At
taking
Costco.
a 3, shuffle over and finish
run-
on the couch.
You run out of your bedroom because your wife's involved. You run
Yeah, of
downstairs.
That should keep the damn dogs off this. You wake up the next morning, the dog's just licking the sofa. Ew.
You sound
Anyway.
way too familiar with that.
I just can't figure out why they like it. Dude, I got that little deaf French bulldog.
With a broken back.
His back is getting better. But
Okay.
Thanks for bringing it up. He's very delicate. He's a designer dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the equivalent of like Chinese bound feet
Yeah.
in a dog. Like,
It's like buying a luxury vehicle. Like, oh, it's so much better. It's like, it's just going to cost you more to maintain that son of a bitch.
but when it's running, how nice is that?
How nice is your dog when it's running at full speed?
Graceful AF.
Deaf, still.
No, deaf as can be. So, because he's deaf, he has all his other senses are like extremely heightened.
Ironic, he's got massive ears and they do nothing.
That is the most ironic thing about it. That and that he doesn't have a tail, so nothing wags. So it's just the expression on his face, which as a French bulldog is like a woman with 7 doses of Botox.
Yeah.
Like just stares at you, nothing changes, and you're like, You happy? You mad?
Yeah.
You constipated? What?
You can't even
Oh,
ask them. You're signing.
Yeah.
I do sign. We
Yeah,
have
they
to
do sign to him.
Yeah, we do. That's not funny. We train. We
Tell
spent-
me about that.
Spent a
Wait,
lot
you
of money.
spent money on learning sign language?
No, him learning sign language. Well, I guess part
you
of that
probably
training
had
You
was
had to
us.
learn it, right?
Yeah.
But you learned dog sign language. If you went up to a human that was deaf,
Yeah,
they'd
is
be
it
like, "What the
ASL?
fuck is this?"
Yeah, it wouldn't translate.
I am sitting, motherfucker.
I don't think it translates. Different languages, different species, Dave. Very different. Very different.
I just wouldn't. I would only spend money on one species.
Wrong. Welcome to my house. We spend more money on designer dogs than have to be trained to speak sign language. This is how we roll. And the debt accrues.
There's definitely a correlation between the amount you pay for your dog and the amount you end up spending on that dog.
Have you seen those bumper stickers like "I love my really expensive dog"? I really think if you have "I love my deaf English bulldog," everyone will be like, "Oh, damn, those are rich."
Yeah.
Richie Rich. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how much you have to pay to make sure that they don't hear you?
That's the spin you need to take. You designed him that way.
Yeah, because we say things that we don't want people to hear
Yeah.
because we're so important.
The other dog barks so much you don't want to stress out the little one.
Yes. He's already got a tough enough life.
Yeah.
He's all bound up. It's ridiculous. It's like they take a French bulldog and they literally bind it for a year and then they release it and go, look, we did it. The spine's all jacked.
So, what did you learn in sign language?
Yeah. What signs does this dog know? How many?
Sit down.
Let me see them.
Well, like, yeah. Show us.
Show us.
Oh, these are not complicated.
Okay.
Come is just ushering your hand towards your face.
Yeah.
I
Come,
think my
come,
dog
come.
knows that for free.
Okay. Good boy is a thumbs up.
Okay.
Bad dog is a Dikembe
Finger
Mutombo.
wag.
If you want them to climb on something, like get on something or go somewhere, it's a hang loose that you usher towards whatever
Does
item,
that work?
like a charm.
Really? What has your dog climbed?
Climbed.
Every single day when we feed him, we look at him, hang loose, point it at the bed, and he knows he can't get out of that bed until I emphatically swing my arms out from the center of my chest to full extension.
Wow.
And that means time to eat.
That's free. That means
Free?
you can come out
Okay.
of climb. And so the big dog, I have to say climb and point.
So so
And then I
like,
hang loose at it. And
wouldn't
then I
a
yell
patting
free.
something do it? Isn't that what everybody else does for their dog? Like they just pat the couch and the dog comes over.
But a French bulldog's a piece of shit. It's,
Okay.
it's,
It's
stubborn.
special,
It's
right.
like a hearing French bulldog. You pat on the couch. It's like, how about no?
Oh, they're assholes, is what you're
A
saying.
French bulldog is the equivalent of a cat dog.
Okay.
Same attitude as a cat. You go pat, pat, pat to a cat, and he goes, if I wanted to go there, if I was already going there,
I'd be there.
I got you.
Yeah.
But if I'm not going there,
So-
how about no?
Is a deaf English bulldog more trainable than a full hearing
It's a
one?
French bulldog.
Whatever. All the same.
Ironically, they don't surrender. Very bullheaded dogs. You know, you would think a French bulldog do whatever the hell you say.
Right.
But no. But yeah, so we had to teach him all these different commands. But so his senses are very heightened. And because of the bird situation on the back porch, we always have birds flying in, which is why we have these like crazy glamour bead situation hanging down to keep
We have
the
a nice
birds out.
screen porch and we have what's called a door on it.
I understand that. But you see,
And
we're-
that keeps the birds out.
so we're lazy and we like to open one door versus open one door, walk outside, open a secondary door. So we just
Y'all
pop
don't
the
walk
door
your
open.
dogs. That's what it is.
Actually, we've been walking the dogs a lot the last couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
It's not something we normally do, but we're trying to get the broken dogs back into
Yeah.
shape. So we're walking him a lot. And then I got to bring the big dog because that's a real dog.
Like we'll let the dog out early in the morning so it can not piss on the carpet, but then we take it for a walk.
Yeah, these
And then in
dogs
the
get
afternoon we take it for a walk.
I'm still curious. Is the deaf French bulldog easier to train than a full hearing one?
No, it's way harder because if they're not looking at you, you're not communicating.
But you said the hearing ones are like, fuck you, I'm not going to climb. But you sound like your dog
Is
because
a good
of the
listener.
sign language. is
Ironically,
like,
a good listener.
Oh, I will now jump. I will now climb because you signed for me to do that.
I think he is more trainable, but he's a people pleaser, which is an anomaly in the French bulldog world. But he's got this weird trait where he sees
Can't hear.
everything. Like everything he does is about seeing, and it's like extremely visual because he's lost the hearing. And part of the keeping the birds out are these little reflective discs that we have up there.
Oh, so it catches his attention all the time.
So it flashes lights across the floor when the sun gets to a certain point in the sky. And when he sees these lights go across, it's literally the single most important thing in the world. And he gets himself so worked up because he's like a fucking retard because he's a French bulldog.
Right.
And he's inbred as shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're jacked up. So now he's excited about it, but he doesn't have a nose and his tongue kind of hangs out and he just drools when he gets excited about the light. And he'll attack the light and lick it, because that's another tactile thing he can feel and engage with it. So as this
Because he
light,
doesn't bark, right?
he does bark, but mostly like he sees ghosts. Like he'll wake up from a dead sleep, and like scare the shit out of everybody,
funny.
which is great because he's in the bed.
Yeah.
And at 3 a.m, he just shoots up and just it does like a death
Oh,
bark,
Lord Jesus.
which is like the worst kind of bark because it's already like not really pronouncing the R's properly.
Bark.
Yeah, it's more like bok. It's a long story, but it's not great. But when these lights flash in, he chases the lights around. He works himself up because he can't believe there's something to hunt, and he drools and he licks. And I came down the stairs today, and he'd been chasing this light that had been spinning, and there was a pool of water all around. And like
You say water, but it's saliva.
it's saliva.
Yeah.
But he's so dehydrated, he has to go get more water to come back and hunt the light.
Yeah.
But since that light, the sun moves very slowly.
Right.
So
it's elongated.
this takes quite a long time. And I'm telling you, my daughter and I came down and we had to leave through the garage because we didn't want to go through the lake of dog slobber from him just being
Gross.
so worked
Yeah.
up. It's a lot of fun. Because you get a designer dog and get them deaf.
Yeah, that's the
This
way.
segment is sponsored by the French Bulldog Association of America.
No,
I think this is sponsored by the SPCA.
which is where they put down dogs. Probably should have.
Yeah, because that's your little West Virginia puppy mill. They all live there.
From the Ukraine
Yeah,
that had a passport.
they
from
all
the Ukraine.
live. None
It's
of
a
them.
weird situation. And if you don't know the story of this particular dog, go back and find the episode where we did tell the full story. It's about a 2-hour story. So we're not going to rehash it now, even though actually, boy, that would kill a lot of time. we could easily do it. But yeah, it was a gross morning. This
Sounds
was
like it.
This is coming out of a bad week, like a bad weekend.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had carpeting. That's all I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, have to put them down.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we got hardwood floors that are now like weakening in certain points, which is great.
Water damage. Oh, did your sink leak? No.
Yeah, you ever have one of those weekends you build up in your mind? You're like, this could be the best day ever.
Every
This-
weekend.
This happens all
Yeah.
the time, right? Like you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
trip, you dream of it, it's like it's going to be perfect. I got all these aspirations for it, and then it all just goes to pot
Every weekend.
Yeah.
all the time. My wife always calls it like your puffy clouds just
Poof.
just getting blown
Dissipate.
away. I had one of those. I went on a golf trip this weekend and I saw the weather and I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. I'm going to get to drive the Miata as an American man does.
Yeah. All
Right.
straight American men love those vehicles.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've always heard.
There's 3 Jeeps out front of your house right now and a Miata.
Yeah. 3 dudes are questionable, and
Yeah.
one dude we know exactly where he stands.
Yeah.
Take that how you may. But 3 dudes are questionable.
Stands,
Right.
bends over,
How
whatever.
many of the Jeep guys have a French Bulldog? 0.
I won't tell you which group sits when they pee. One of them does. I mean, or 3. Don't make it weird. But so like I saw the weather and I was like, I'm going on this golf trip. I'm gonna get to play golf with my boys, and I get to drive the supercharged Miata, which the whole point of the Miata, the whole beauty of it is supercharged, because a Miata in and of itself, not a very powerful car. Some would say slow.
They're all fun to drive though.
Fun to drive, but the supercharger really makes it more fun to drive.
Yes.
So I had these delusions of grandeur. I was like, this is going to be the best trip ever. In fact, I went so far as to say I would drive all the way out to the house where we were staying, which adds 50 minutes beyond where the golf course is.
Where was this?
We're going up towards Wintergreen area.
Okay.
So I drove all the way out to Wintergreen to drive all the way back 50 miles to another spot. But I was like, I'll leave early. I have the day off. I just want some time with my supercharged Miata. I'm going to hit some windy roads.
And
I'm
the
gonna have-
weather.
I get
The
it.
weather's great. Like, I'm going to have a good old time. And then I'm going to play the best round of golf because I'm going to be so happy.
That's where you went wrong.
That's
Yeah.
You would think, but I'd gone wrong from jump. I left 8 a.m, hit the road, and I'm cruising, and I'm no more than 30 minutes into this journey when all of a sudden I hear this thwack, tang, 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 tang. I'm like, huh. I was like, car seems slow. Still driving, but car seems slow. And then I'm like, that coolant in the air?
Uh-oh.
Like, oh, that's cool. So I pull over first chance I get. Sure enough, pop the hood. I blew a belt.
Oh.
That powers the supercharger and the power steering. So now steering's difficult.
right.
Speed is extremely slow, especially because the car's been tuned to work on a supercharger. So it's not even as fast as a standard Miata.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, boy, this is.
But you can't do any damage driving it like that.
no, it's
right?
it's okay. It's not
Yeah.
enough that like a check engine light comes on.
Why'd you smell coolant? Oh, that's coming.
Funny you should ask. So apparently, when the belt went off, it started slapping around in there,
Oh no.
and it decided to slap a couple hoses.
Oh, that were dry rotted because they're 25 years old.
Actually, I just replaced the whole thing myself, so I knew exactly.
So
I
you
knew,
know it was done right.
I knew every hose on it. But there's this little junction with these little hoses, and it's just pissing coolant all over the place. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So I'm 30 minutes into a 2-hour drive, and I'm pissing coolant. I'm at the rest stop, and the hood open, and I actually have tools in the back because I've dealt with this kind of thing before. And I actually have the belt because this belt has blown on me 2 times over the last 5 years of ownership or whatever. That I've been like, I should probably have like a spare belt just in case like
Just in
something
case it
happens.
That's a pro tip. Like, if you have an issue with an old vehicle, do that. And even in your new vehicles, I do this whenever, and I don't do a lot of work on my own cars anymore. It's just quicker and easier to take it somewhere. But like, I will replace headlights and taillights and stuff like that. When you buy a set of headlights, because you're supposed to replace both, buy 2.
Yeah, it cost me
yeah.
$15 more,
Yeah.
and it's just in the trunk.
Yeah, and it takes up no space.
No, and it's been in the trunk for years, and I haven't had to use it. But as soon as I heard the tank, 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 and I lost all the power, I was like, I know this one. This old gremlin. So I'm like, all right, pull over, look at it, and I'm like, all right, I can't change this now because I do have to actually be at this house by 10 in order to catch a ride all the way back to the golf course that I'm going to have to go right past limping while pissing coolant.
Oof.
I'm able to kind of like get this hose to kind of sit with the tools I have. It's still dripping, but it's nice slow drip. So I'm like, all right, let's just get it up to speed, go down the road,
Just keep checking the temperature gauge every 30 seconds.
staring at the temperature gauge, ignoring the 18-wheelers.
Yeah.
Just staring and going. And then just making the music so loud that you just forget
Tune
about
it all
everything.
out. Yeah.
Lo and behold, I actually make it.
Nice.
I'm a little late, but I make it all the way to the house. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's
Hold
pretty
on.
commendable.
If I remember correctly, the weather was awful on this trip. It was like 55 and raining here.
Oh, no, it was great.
Oh,
No
it
joke.
was?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, okay.
No, this was like, it was probably like 60 at,
Sunday was nice here, but Saturday was awful.
this was Friday.
Okay.
Or no, this was
Saturday it
this was
drizzled here.
Thursday.
Yeah, it rained, but like it was a light rain.
It was enough that I was like, I don't need to
No,
go
no,
to the
this
yard.
was Thursday.
I had the doors off the Jeep and was riding around in it, but it wasn't like getting you wet.
No, this was Thursday early, so it was like,
But it was
okay.
cold. It was cold.
So enjoyed it. Yeah, no, when we played golf, it was the second day, like Friday, it was freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Thursday was good though. And got down there. It didn't overheat. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, all right, dodged a bullet. Go play some golf. Let's have some fun. I'll be damned if I did not shoot the worst round of golf of my life. I'm not kidding. So we play a rule where if you get to double par, so if it's a par 3 and you get to a 6, you just pick up the ball and move on. So you're not
Yeah.
holding everybody up. Par 5, you get to a 10, you pick it up.
Because if a round of golf is 72, that means you're on pace to shoot a 144.
Yeah.
144 would be literally the worst
Yeah.
you could do with the way we play golf. After hole 7, I had still never putt because I had to pick up the ball before I reached the green
Wow.
every time. It was god awful.
That's awful.
It was so
That's,
bad.
and that's no fun.
No, and
That means
here's,
you're having zero fun on the course.
here's the fucked up thing. I'm cheating
Oh, yeah.
horribly.
You're like giving yourself better lies and like not counting certain strokes.
not basic cheating. Like I'm not doing like little cheats.
You're
I'm
teeing
like,
it up in the fairway.
No, I'm playing by the right lies, but I'm doing things like I'm 5 strokes in, and the other dude's on his second shot.
Yeah.
And he like tanks it into the woods, and I'll be like, oh well, you know what? Let's just save us some time. I'll take a drop 100 yards up where you are.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, the way you're playing, that's fine. So I'm like, sweet. So I'm just giving myself hundreds of yards, and I'm still not getting to the green.
Wow.
It is god awful. Have the worst run of golf. Ended up shooting a 137.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Cheating.
That's hard to do.
cheating.
Cheating my ass off with a double par rule already in place.
So you had 1 or 2 that you didn't double. Because
7 shots tops? No, less than that.
well, 100. If most courses are either 70, 71, or 72 par, so 140 to 144 would be the max.
And I shot a 137 where I was allowed to pick up. Like I said, never
Wow.
saw a green for the first 7 holes. Unbelievable.
What do you attribute that to?
Horrible.
Not playing golf a lot.
I mean, do you think it was the car threw you off, or you're out of practice, you were drunk? What's going on?
Okay, so we're checking the boxes.
is there a D? All the above.
The only thing I can add to this equation was I fucked up my back in the gym, and apparently the guy said everyone said I was playing like I was just hunched over the whole time.
Uh-huh.
So when around the 7th hole, the guy's like, "Why don't you just try to like stand up?" I was like, "But it hurts." And he's like, "No, when you swing, just stand up. Just go through the pain. Just stand up." He's like, "Because you're hunched over the whole time." That actually helped. So now I'm playing. I got 5 strokes back on the worst possible. Like nailed it. Had a horrible round of golf. Get home. Changed the belt. Ely was there. That helped.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey man, come over here."
You know how you're always wrenching on cars and people are always asking you, but you're at a golf trip having fun with your friends? Let's wrench on some cars, buddy.
He's like, "Well, you're going to need the belt." And I'm like, aha, I've got the belt and I've got the tools. And like, so we changed the belt, got it going. And now like, I'm psyched for the next 2 days. I'm playing golf and I'm just dreaming of the ride home Sunday. It's an 80-degree day. I'm going to leave in the morning. Everybody gets up early. They clean the house. I get out of bed. I'm all alone.
In a clean house
In
that
a
you did not clean?
house that I didn't clean.
Oh, that is awesome.
All I'm doing is walking.
You had a
around.
good weekend.
You did have a good weekend.
I'm walking around finding like I found the one beer in the bathroom. Oh, slackers. Threw that bitch out. It was like, I've done my job. Got all excited. I actually waited until the weather warmed up, left around 10 a.m. Decided I'm going to take all back roads. I'm like, hell yeah. Get back out on the road, cruising. Thwack! Tank, 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 tank. Blew the belt again. I mean, I must.
So that means something's like wrong.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, all right,
Ooh.
I'm gonna start buying some other belts. And I got this aftermarket tensioner on there that allows me to like expand and contract. And like, I've been running a 51-inch belt, but I go to the store and they're like, well,
So
we have-
this is on the way home. You're making pit stops.
yeah. And they're like, hey, we have a 49-inch belt. I'm like, probably short, but I got this tensioner. I think I get 2 inches out of it. Nope. Try to put the belt on. Doesn't work. Now it's all wedged up in there. Have to cut it with a knife. Boom. Out $20. Order another belt when I get home. It comes in. This one's a 50-inch belt because I can't find this particular length. Put it on there. Doesn't fit. Fuck. Cut it off. I have 2 belts laying on top that are cut, laying on top of this bitch. My wife today, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but she was like, "You've got another belt. This is like the fourth belt." When she came down, when we were standing
Yeah.
outside looking at Ray's Jeep, I do have my fourth belt. What she doesn't know, unbeknownst to her, there is a fifth belt on the way.
Oh, wow.
Because I need a backup belt
Yeah.
to be in the trunk on account of all the problems.
Yeah, but you might have something like
Yeah, your supercharger
shifted
might
Out of
in there.
alignment.
Yeah,
Yeah, your supercharger might not be pulling right.
something moved in there.
I also think that what it could be though is that belt's been in there for like 2 years and the trunk leaks.
Yeah,
And it
got
just-
wet, got dry.
Wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. Everything in there's been moldy. Like mice have been in there. Like I cleaned it all out. Like it's all, but I think that belt could have been through hell and back. But I still think it should work.
Well, you said the
know.
other ones you went through 2 and 5 years. That's unnatural.
No. Yeah. 2 and 5 years. This would have been my third change.
I feel like belts last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
Not on a high powered supercharger.
Whopping 155 horsepower.
Yeah, 55 more than it should have. What? I'm fucking crushing it. So it's like the whole weekend, like the thing that I was looking forward to the most was driving and then
ride.
playing a
Driving
good
them
game
out,
of golf.
yeah.
And like the whole time I'm stressed out. I'm underpowered. Now I'm on back roads. Like this sucked. It just, the ultimate like blow up. Couldn't catch a break.
That is a first world problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
My convertible didn't perform as well as it should have.
my third car is giving me fits and yet continues to drive.
Hey guys, have you ever had this problem?
Say your aftermarket supercharger's just a little out of alignment. It's really putting tension on your belts.
And I was on a guys only golf weekend. It totally messed it up.
All I had was a ton of fun. Worst weekend ever.
I had a first world problem the same weekend you were out of town. My kids noticed that there was a leak under their faucet in their sink.
Oh fuck! I hate
Yeah,
plumbing.
and it's like tight under there. And I was like, I could fuck with this, but it's probably gonna take me all day. I'm just gonna call a plumber.
Uh-oh.
So I call a plumber. And this is Friday morning at like 9 o'clock.
Okay, so not on Saturday because the price goes up.
Well, I'm expecting like I'm trying to schedule. I'm like I'll call today. Next week they'll
Sure,
come out.
okay.
Because it wasn't like water flowing everywhere. It was like when they turned it on, it was dripping underneath. I was like,
They turn it off. It
and we
stops
had a
dripping.
and we had a bucket under there, so it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it'll,
you're
it'll
good.
be
Yeah,
fine.
you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, we can live like this for a while.
I know people have gone their whole lives like that.
Yeah. So I call and they're like, "Oh, we can be there between 10 and 12." And I was like, "Today?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm working from home today. Let's do that."
Lock it up.
And I was like, "I think it's a faucet. I'm just going to go buy one and your guys can put it in." And the lady's like, "Well, why don't you hold off on that because it might not be the faucet. It could be an easier fix." And I was like, "Yeah, kind of makes sense."
Super helpful.
Because I'm like 3 miles from Home Depot and 4 from Lowe's. So I'm like, I'll just run up there. She's like, no, don't do it.
The life of privilege.
So the plumber gets there. He's on time. And he's like, yeah, your faucet's bad, which is kind of weird because it's maybe 2 years old. Like, it's not old. And faucets, I've never seen a faucet go bad. Like, but something interior was wrong and it was like leaking through the
it's
faucet.
just a stupid grommet.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was like, cool. I was like, do you have one on your truck? Like, he's like, yeah, but I might, it's just a 4-inch faucet. It ain't nothing fancy. And he's like, but if, we might have to run up to Ferguson Plumbing and get I was like, he's like, let me give you a price. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, give me the price, but it doesn't matter because you're here. And guess what? That shit's getting fixed today. So he's like, beep, boop, boop on his iPad. He's like, $650. Oh! I was like, are you
Objection! Hearsay!
I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now, dude? I'm like, it's a $50 faucet. I bought the damn thing. Like, it cannot be that much. And he could like tell, and I'm like, it's not going to take that long to fix. How could he's like, it's not me. I'm like, look, man, you're just putting in the data.
Yep.
He ain't doing anything. He ain't coming
Well,
up with these
150
numbers.
is just for him to show up.
Yeah, it was 150. But then if you get the work done, that 150 goes away.
Exactly.
And and he's like, look, man. He's like, he's looking at. He's like, I was like, I can run to Home Depot and just buy a faucet. He's like, he's looking at me. He's like, yeah, go do that. and I'll just charge you an hourly rate. And I was like, I was already out the door.
Did he charge you 1 hour or the 8 minutes?
It was 1 hour. It was
Okay.
going to be 1 hour, which he was there for at least an hour. He and his helper were
Yeah, but-
there for an hour.
25 minutes of it was you running to Lowe's.
Not even that much. But I mean, he was like, look, by the time you get up there and back, I will have taken this
Bitch
piece
off.
of shit
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
And you'll be halfway home. Go up there, faucet.
This sounds awesome.
Yeah. Faucet, $59.99, bang, out the door. I'm back. He puts it in, no problems, no leaks, whatever. And it was like $230 total. So I'm like high-fiving my wife, like, I just saved
And got us a brand
Yeah.
new faucet. All right, how is this a first world? This is a first world win. Congratulations,
Yeah, no, it
Troy.
is.
All right.
But I had to turn it around to you because I was like, talking to the wife, I'm like, we got to get some cash. Because I got to tip these two fools because they did me a solid.
They did a
did.
solid,
Because I
yeah.
don't know if they did what they should have done.
They also probably don't want the credit card because they're putting in the system $150 fee, customer declined service, and then they want that
Absolutely.
$90 in
They want the
cash.
No,
I totally agree.
I paid with credit card, but I wanted cash to tip them. So I was like, look, dude, if I go buy this thing and put it in, I'll tip you guys out. And he's like, just go buy it. He's like, it'll be a quick, easy job. So he's like, he's putting it in, he's like, you don't have to tip us out. I was like, dude, you're hooking it up.
That's crazy that they proactively said you don't have to
You
tip
don't
us
have
out.
to tip us
yeah.
out.
They should be like, that sounds awesome.
Was this Bantam's Plumbing or Herman Allen?
I'm not going to say who they were
Because they might get fired.
because
Yeah.
they might
That's
not.
probably-
They might
that's-
not have
that's
done what
probably
they should
more
have
what would
done
happen is that they get
because
fired.
I just know in my experience, those are the two best plumbing companies in the area.
yes, they are great plumbing companies. I would tell you to use them,
Okay.
but I'm not going to say who this was. I might not have
understand.
used them.
I understand.
I've used those plumbing companies in the past,
I understand. I'm just saying those have been good plumbing companies.
but I was like, hell yeah! So like, we got some. I gave the helper $10 and the plumber $25. I was like, and they were extremely
just so
grateful.
they know where they stand on the hierarchy.
Right.
Well, I mean, the plumber, the helper, and I've been a helper, so I know. Like, you're not. If you're an apprentice, you're not on the same level as the carded guy, and this helper wasn't. He was helping in that, and it's not. And he might be
Good
new,
job,
so
Billy. Keep going.
That's right.
Yeah.
A good
Tighten it, but not too much.
a good apprentice doesn't have to be told to do things.
They just do things.
He was having
This guy, the plumber, was hanging out under the sink going, "Get me this, get me that." And we're like, a good apprentice is like, "Do do do," and I'm like, I ain't tipping this guy when I'm tipping the guy first, the guy that made the decision to save me $300,
Yeah.
and the guy who did all the work other than carrying shit up and down the stairs.
No, I agree
So,
with you. I agree with your logic.
Like, I think when it was all said and done, I was out like $250 or something. I forget what the math equaled out to, or around $300, but it had gone from like $650. So I was like,
Do you feel like you got it done?
oh yeah,
that
I
was
felt like I
definitely a
winning.
deal.
And it was done. Like, I called the people with like 9 something, and by 11 they were gone. I'm like, who would have thought
That's beautiful.
that
Yeah.
would have happened today? Like, it was such a first world win. Like,
I'm glad you got a first world win.
but so then back to the story. I brought it up. Like, do you think these guys will get in trouble? Do you think they did right? Because they customer service is a valuable thing. So like, did
Whatever
they do
plumbing
right?
company you used just gained a customer for life.
Yes, exactly, and that's the way I look at it.
So in the end, it's the long term right thing. If the company's struggling for money,
I will
and
call these guys 100%.
And if you're using Herman Allen or Bantam Plumbing,
Yeah.
then they're not hurting for money. Like, they're doing good work. So
They can also just tell their boss or tell whoever that said, we just did reinstall,
Yeah.
or we just did an install for a
I mean, they
faucet that
didn't
they
lie.
had.
Like,
Right.
they didn't
Yeah.
cheat. Like, the time spent or anything.
the
Like,
time spent was the same.
Yeah.
It was just that little rubber grommet
Yeah.
is a $600 grommet, and it's very, very expensive.
Well,
They're
no,
not
they
making
would-
they're not making 30 or 40% on a
Well, it would-
on the materials. you
Well,
know?
they would have marked the faucet up,
Oh,
and they
easily.
would have spent more time there. So that's why it would have been more, because it would have been a 2-hour job instead of a 1-hour job. So, like, I get it. Like, they're charging what they would have to charge, but
I don't think they did anything wrong. I don't think you'd be in any situation where they'd get in trouble.
and I
for
took
that.
the time to like email the people that had emailed me, and I was like, the guys were great. They were professional. They were in and out. Thank you so much. And lady's like, oh, that's awesome. I'll print it out and put it on our board that gives everybody shout outs.
No,
So
I don't think they did anything wrong. They're not getting in trouble. They
Yeah.
have got a customer for life, and they got a shout out.
Yeah.
But if you want to hook it up, you put that review online.
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google will
Because
review that.
nobody
Yeah.
takes the time to say good job. Everyone's like, asshole smelled. Like what?
Yeah.
I have a related first world problem because I can't do any of that shit. So I call people.
That checks out.
But I live on a golf course,
That checks out.
and every guy that shows up is like, "Oh, hey, is that the golf course back there?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck, the price just
Yeah.
doubled."
Yep.
And so, yeah, those guys, I guarantee you, not naming names, if they came to my house, they'd be like, "It's $800, and we're not gonna let you just run up to Lowe's and
Yeah.
take care of this." And I'm like the nice guy who's like, "I'll tip you, like, please," but they just preconceived notion that the price is jacked.
By the way, did I tip enough, Brendan? What would you have tipped on that?
50.
No.
And how would you have would you have broken it up, or
No.
would you have done equal share?
I always, here's how I always think of it. If I can buy you lunch or I can buy your first round, it's a good enough tip for you taking care of me.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how I look at it. And technically speaking, you did right by both of them.
Yeah.
Because you bought a beer and lunch for the big dog.
Yeah.
And you bought lunch for the other guy. No, I think you did right. Or
Okay.
a beer.
I
Like
do,
that's
I do
it's
a
either-
joint tip, but I make sure I do it in the presence of everyone that might get some tips. So that
Yeah.
way, I never trust that if I give it to one guy that he's actually going to divvy
Yeah.
it out.
Divvy it out.
And
Well,
I'm like,
I broke-
this is for the team. Hey, team, this is for the team.
Right.
So that way,
Well,
they
for
can,
this one, and I always do that too, and I always try to give the boss man a little bit something extra because they are taking the hit mostly. They're doing
Yeah.
more work. So this one, like the apprentice was already in the truck, so I went around. Here
Yeah,
you go,
gave it to him.
gave him a 10.
Yeah.
Then the plumber was finishing up in the back of the truck, so I went to the back and gave him the 25 and was like, "Here you go." And I was like, I thought I did solid by him.
Oh.
Didn't cost the company any money. I mean,
No, I don't think so. I think you ended up I think you did it right.
good.
I respect it. I'm going to just chuck all these cups.
I hate to waste them.
from
It's
last
it's
week's
America.
deli, they're still
You can
out.
pour
Gross.
Sitting here all
my
week
deli
long.
in this one. What do we have here? The Daily Dose IPA
Yeah, from Otter
from
Creek
Otter
Brewing.
Creek.
Actually, we don't need cups for everybody. We can just drink out of these cans like
I
men.
need,
We-
yeah.
I want mine over ice.
I see what
You're
did there.
fired.
This says your daily hop
I knew it was
allotment. An all-day, everyday IPA dripping with all the citrus and tropical fruit hop flavors you've come to expect from the OCB crew.
So I find this beer very interesting because they call it an all day, but they can't use the word session.
What?
Because it's over 5. It's 5.5.
It's 5.5.
I'm very excited. I have high expectations.
They are
You have to
going.
turn it over.
I hope not. I didn't. I already cracked
Daily
one.
Dose IPA.
I don't know which one. Doesn't matter. Where's your cup, Troy?
And
Oh, right there.
the cup that's right in front of you.
That makes perfect sense. So, this was actually bought by a listener. Fired up. Shout out to Joe.
Where's Otter Creek out of?
Call it Maine. Making that up. Don't know. Don't know much about this, but I saw that it was the Daily Dose IPA. I liked that they were going for a low ABV IPA. It wasn't a true session coming in at 5.5, but they call it something you can drink all day. It's kind of in my wheelhouse. Little more potent than a sessionable, but I'm expecting a little more flavor out of it because of that.
Smells like it's got a lot
Where'd
of
you
flavor.
say? Where'd you say?
I guessed Maine. I don't know. I'm making it up.
Vermont.
Ah, that's the same
Way
thing.
off.
Not really. Literally all of them up there.
Same
different
flavor,
coast.
different label.
There's literally a reason they call them the New England Patriots. It's just, this whole region. You know, you got to
I
give
want
those.
to get up there.
Yeah,
I've never been up to New Hampshire, Maine,
me neither.
Vermont, all that stuff. Smells very hoppy.
Yeah, I have high expectations. Joe sent money into the Venmo, so I felt like I had a little.
That's
Good
it.
Instagram.
I felt like I had a little money to play with here. So I got the beers, got the beer I wanted, but like I said, it only came in a 15 pack.
So he didn't tell you to buy this.
Nope. He said next beer's on me.
Where'd you get this? Lucky?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I probably spent all the money.
That's surprising that they got some good beers from Vermont.
Is it?
I would think.
Oh, you mean Lucky?
Lucky's,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was like, I would assume Vermont was full of good beer.
No.
Absolutely. There's nothing else to do. You freeze your ass off. But the summers I hear are great and getting better. Global warming rocks for people in the north. Canada's like, bring it on.
This is very, very interesting.
It is. It is. I don't want to talk about it too much because Dave has put it in my head that
I already wrote my score down.
roaded.
Roaded.
UNC.
Troy, so I have a concern about the spit take on this. I don't think you're getting the full. I'm not saying that you have to drink it, but I think that,
Spit. Tell me what you think. There's 1,000 cups here.
yeah, that's true. If we could.
Sounds like
There's
Brendan's
definitely
wedding night.
like
That
after it comes down, after you like,
Awkward.
yeah,
That
Spit
argument
and
can
tell
be
me what
made
you
for
think.
every one of them.
She wasn't a good
That I
person.
do this with,
yeah,
honestly.
that's true. Yeah,
So I don't disagree with you.
it is
It's all I can do though.
the end. It's the back end of this is really interesting.
As it goes down your throat.
Yeah.
I agree. I've written my score down. We do writing because
Roaded.
yeah, it's a double podcast. We write them down because there's heavy influence.
I'm not writing mine down, but I have it set.
You will not be swayed. You are
I
an
will
oak.
not. Like last time when I got sweet. I'll lead off.
All right.
I like this beer, but I don't love it. I don't like hoppy beers, but as far as hoppy beers go, this is a pretty good one. And I'm just going to go slightly above average and say it's a 3.
Fair.
It's got a pretty good citrus hop going on in it. It's got a little after funk, but not like a bad texture furriness in your mouth. The mouth is clean,
Yeah.
but it's got the funk, but it ain't the furry funk that a lot of the hoppy beers do to me.
That was my concern. I'll go next because that was my concern about letting it linger, having it go down. There's definitely a funk. I'm not a huge IPA fan. I don't like an IPA. It's clean. I think that the second and third taste of this is much better than the first.
Yes.
So your palate kind of gets used to that. But I'm only giving it a 3 as well.
Go in it.
I know everybody.
See how that goes? See how that works?
Second episode is always tough.
I only attack because I was attacked.
Shit rolls downhill.
It does.
Isn't that horrible, dude? Every time I meet a bully, I'm like, oh, what happened to you?
Yeah, Boy Scouts.
Look at you, full of hate.
Really are.
Fucking
Did you
aggressive.
give this a 4?
Don't look at my score.
He hasn't given his tasting notes.
Oh, are you done?
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Oh, I felt like
mean,
you were
like-
on a roll, and I completely interrupted it. You're just
You
gonna,
know, you're
you're
good.
just gonna take it.
I
over.
mean, like, fuck.
I'll go next. So I like IPAs.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Impossible.
Maybe I should just say the number and pass. No, I like IPAs. I love the New England hazy. I'm excited when I hear things come out of Vermont because that is Hetty Topper land and
Yeah.
Julius and
And that Maine Brewing Company, the dinner one and the lunch one,
yeah.
fantastic.
Yep. So I, as an IPA guy, I really like this beer. Like the hops hit right off the bat. I get what you're saying, Ray. The back end has a piney taste, which If you're really into IPAs, that's awesome. And if you hate IPAs, it's
the worst.
awful.
Yeah.
But it's there, and but like Troy said, it's actually really clean. Like it's not it's not hanging out too long, and I appreciate that as well. This is a 4.0. Well, I should probably ask the price, but just straight up beer without any marketing or price involved. This is a great beer. I would buy this unless it's overpriced.
It's not.
$22.99 for 15 bet.
I actually know it's not overpriced because I bought it at the overpriced place, and I remember when it all rang up, I went, oh, "That's quite reasonable."
So
What
you got
was
an
it?
18 pack for $22.
I bought a pack of gum for my daughter. I bought an 8-pack of Guinness. I bought a Monster Energy drink and a 15-pack, and it came in just under 50.
That is it's a memory test for me.
Right. So
I forgot what
$3
you bought your daughter already.
$3 for gum, $3 for Monster.
Yep.
I don't buy Guinness, so I don't know.
8-pack of Guinness is going to be, this place, everything's way overpriced. So you can assume we're over $15.
Six. So we'll just say $18. So 6 and 18.
$30-something for an 18 pack at Lucky's.
No, it wasn't that much.
Oh,
We'll call it
just did the math.
$20 for the Guinness. They jacked
if
the
this
prices.
if this is $1 a can, I'm loving it.
Well, it's going to be more.
Got to be $2.
It's $2 a can. It's $30.
Oh, well, I asked if it was $30, and I got the.
Well, let's do the math. You
Let's
said
call
under
it a
50.
$20 Guinness.
So 20, and then you have $3 for a Monster and $3 for a pack of gum.
So we're at 20.
It's 26. So it's $25 for a 15
Okay.
pack.
So a buck and change. I'm loving this beer.
Yeah,
at a buck and change.
that's okay. Yeah, $25.
You gave it a 4,
Yep.
a 3, and a 3. I wrote down my number early so that you're not shocked when I come at it. So
He's also a 4, isn't he?
Yep.
what I really like about this beer is that the hops is, to your point, Dave, very New England, very northern. I like the how much it attacks. The fact that it calms down so cleanly. The fact that it comes in at 5.5 and still manages to have all of that hop flavor. What I love about it is within this juiciness, there's like a lemony vibe.
Yeah.
That pops out of nowhere that makes it super bright, way more bright than it should be. I guarantee it pours juicy. You can just feel that. And that little bit of pininess, I agree. I like that. And it finishes clean, so I dig it.
What's
Make
interesting?
sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah.
Nobody. We don't like IPAs on this
Yeah.
side, and so that automatically kind of goes like.
But the fact that
Which
you
is
net it
fair.
out
That's
over
totally fair.
2.5
Yeah.
means it doesn't suck as
It doesn't
an IPA.
suck as an IPA.
That knocks a half point off each of us.
Sure.
Yeah, and as IPA likers on this end, the fact that this retains all of that and still comes through is great. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Wait.
5.5.
Before Troy pulls that cord, I don't know if it meets the loose rules.
It's a
does it?
3
The
and a half.
loose rules is a quorum. If we have 4 people and a
3.5?
3.5,
Oh, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
it gets a deli.
Quite frankly, I will buy this beer for me personally on the lake or at the beach. I will buy this before the Orange Smash. I get why the
From a week ago?
from last
What a
week's
callback.
episode. Yeah. Last week's episode, we had a 3.5 by 4 people for the Orange Smash for very similar reasons. I think that Orange Smash is more acceptable
the
generally.
masses.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
Generally,
At
like-
35,000 feet, everybody likes it.
Right. White Claw drinkers will
Yeah.
enjoy it, and so will
Bourbon drinkers.
bourbon drinkers.
The
and-
fact that
and
this
beer
can
drinkers.
compete with a 7.5, 8% IPA at 5.5 is glorious to me.
Right.
This has a ton of flavor. I'm super excited to have a 15 pack of this now
Yes.
because I will.
I'm going to drink some next week if there are any left.
Does that mean right after this show? No, like I'm super excited that this is as good
Time's
as it
just
is.
like a construct, man.
It's a flat circle, man. It's a flat circle.
You get it, man.
Like the earth.
No, dude.
What?
Now you sound stupid. No, I'm super excited about this beer. Like
birds aren't real, man.
I think if you're buying the Founders All Day IPA because it's coming in right around just at like 4.9, just in that sessionable range.
Get this.
If you can give yourself that extra 0.5% of ABV and not feel bad about it, this is like a way better beer.
I like this way better than All Day IPA, and I love All Day IPA.
Me too,
I
because-
bought a lot of that
Because it's low ABV and
Yeah.
does a good job. But this is like a genuine IPA that's coming in
But
with
one's
a
all
relatively
day
low.
and one's just a daily,
Daily.
dose.
Yeah.
Well, when you're overweight like I am,
Hmm.
this Daily Dose is an All Day IPA.
Yeah, because he can handle that extra 0.6%.
100%.
No, that's a good beer. I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, and to Brendan's point, you get a very flavorful beer that's not high octane.
Yep.
And which I think is great. I mean, it's hard to get something that's that strong.
It would be interesting to see people who are like, I hate IPAs, but there's nothing left in the cooler except for this, what their response would be.
Yeah.
Based on your
I would
Roy
drink.
and Ray.
I mean, I would drink this.
I would drink it. Like, it's not
Undrinkable.
not undrinkable at
There
all.
are some
yeah.
IPAs that I just won't like. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's not going to
Like,
touch.
it smells like a shoe.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want it in my mouth.
No, and this is not that.
Yeah.
Right, and if it was, for me, if I want to drink pine, I'm drinking gin.
Yeah.
Respect.
That's the way to do
Juniper
it.
beats pine.
Easily all day.
What are the odds that the liquor snob said, "Well, what about gin?"
I mean, like that's.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't mind a gin. I love a gin drink. I mean, there's some great gin cocktails out there, but I don't want to. I don't want to taste pine in my beer.
But this doesn't have a lot of pine to me.
Well, at the back end, like
It's got
once it
enough in
goes
the
down,
back.
there's some kind of herb that's back there. That's
But see,
lingering.
that's why I like the lemoniness and
In the front,
juiciness.
yeah.
But it cleans that up for me.
Yeah.
But I also have the palate that appreciates a strong IPA.
Correct.
But I don't want to be fucking drooling.
And also, I think this is not a true, like, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to beer. This is not a true traditional beer,
No,
Which-
IPAs were born of like, we got to cover up all the bullshit,
Yeah.
add more hops. No, it's a fuck up of a beer.
And on top of that, the New England hazy is a bastardization
Bastards,
in a great
yeah.
way of that.
2 IPA lovers.
Yes.
This is good.
Yeah.
Either way, it netted out okay.
It did 3.5. And again, I think you're right. Like, if this is in a cooler at the end of the day, I'll have it. I'll drink it.
I'll have it any time of the day.
We got 15 of them. Well, 11. Oh, we only had 3, so you got 12.
Look at you, Matt.
Fucking Abacus 2 over
He
here.
doesn't even have that many fingers.
Abacus 2.1. Like, fuck that up. Did you guys fly on planes a lot? This is just a little.
No.
You fly on planes a lot?
Sometimes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dave, you fly on planes a lot?
Every few years, not very often.
All right, Ray, I'm looking at you. Do you look to see if it's a Boeing?
I have not.
Oh,
But
the 737 or
So
It's a
the
My
Supermax
recent-
thing?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the Max.
Yeah, we have a trip planned for December, and our group is like, I don't want to be on the Supermax. So I think I know where you're going.
Schuler and I switched it. I purposely switched an Airbus
Yeah.
instead of a Boeing when we went to Europe.
So are you starting to now like not fly on Boeings in general, or does it have to be the 737?
The Supermax.
Yeah, it's got to be the
The one that's been in the news repeatedly.
right. And the dude just the second whistleblower just died or something.
Well, so this is kind of what I'm getting at. Like,
Of natural causes, I assume.
yeah.
bro, his
His
fucking
head fell off.
no, dude. His shit. All right, so
Even that
the first dude was found dead in a car from a air quotes self-inflicted gunshot wound.
GSW.
What's a GSW?
Gunshot wound.
That's
Oh.
gunshot residue, GSR is what you're thinking.
No, he literally said GSW and then said gunshot wound. So the acronym works on account of that's. So an acronym is typically done. You use the first letter.
Is
of
GSW
each
actually
word.
used?
Yeah.
Okay.
Golden State Warriors, gunshot wound.
I mean,
I don't know if you Google it.
Troy
it's
is
going to be
basically
Steph
in law
Curry.
enforcement, but I'm going to challenge
I mean,
it.
what I assume GSW.
I just came up with it. I just invented it.
Never seen it before.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm going to go with you, Troy.
They've been,
I'm turning away from Dave and his Google
yeah.
because you can Google anything until it's like, see, I told you midgets are the preferred sex.
Well, you can't. You can Google that a monk came up with the fighting Irish.
J-
Stu tried all night. All
Dave's
night.
argument is that they would shorten gunshot residue to GSR, but they wouldn't shorten gunshot wound to GSW.
Because that's crazy.
That would be ludicrous.
Why would you do
Yeah.
that? If each word is only one
Yeah.
syllable, you don't need an acronym.
You don't need
Yeah.
an acronym for that.
Actually, literally, gunshot wound takes no more effort than GSW.
the same syllables.
Actually, W. It's actually harder. There's 3
But
syllables. in W.
residue.
Ew, no, GSR.
Yeah.
It's way too long. So maybe Dave's right. We don't need
Yeah.
an acronym for this, but I'm still siding with you,
I
Troy.
mean, WWW is longer
Well,
than World Wide Web.
Wikipedia does shoot me down.
Yeah. It's a
A
GSW.
gunshot wound, GSW.
Yeah.
But gunshot is one word, so why throw
So
the
why
S in
GSR?
there? Why not just GW?
Or GR.
Right.
To your point.
Those dumb cops.
Yeah, because I just assume G stands for gunshot.
Yeah.
It's one word. It's like mailman.
Yeah, M stands for like. All right, Dave, you're digging a hole.
We've gone way off the rails here.
I don't know.
I
that
mean,
you-
mail person.
Yeah.
All M.
Sexist punk.
yeah, you are really are a misogynist. Really,
The character Dave is very bad.
I love when he talks to his wife,
Yeah.
like by proxy.
Am I that transparent?
Yeah, only because I hear your pre-show and your post-show comments that I now have learned what you're up to.
Hey guys, don't talk about this on the podcast because my wife's a listener.
He literally will tell a story here and be like, I'm going to tell you guys this story that I cannot talk about on the air. And it's like the most mundane shit. And he's like, well, I just don't want to know I think that way. And then he comes in here and he's like, and then we got whores. And I'm like, wait, what? And then he goes, allegedly, as a character. Like, what the you're doing it wrong.
All of my cocaine references are a character I'm playing.
A friend told me.
Literally, no one even brought up trouble. What is happening? With
What? Oh, I thought I was
Double
outed.
episode.
It's a
I hate
double-
these
it's the
double episodes.
The doubles are bad.
Dude, if we were in Australia, when you flushed his toilet, he'd go the other way.
Yeah.
This dude's going down the drain. So, what I was bringing up is like, I am now like checking on Boeing.
So the
I'm
first
like,
guy killed himself allegedly.
the first guy apparently blew his brains out because he couldn't stand the fact that he was a whistleblower. I find that extremely sus. I do. I've
Not how
always
it goes usually.
Right. That's not how it goes.
yeah. I find this extremely suspect. He's like,
I shouldn't have told the truth.
I've leaked all these things I've leaked. Now, why do you decide to blow your brains out? There's obviously a lot of crazy pressure coming. I'm going to expose your wife, your children. There's people coming at him. These are just my thoughts. I'm not putting
Yeah.
this out on y'all. I believe that this guy was pressured into a situation where he either shot himself or somebody just stuck a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger and put his hand on it. I've seen enough movies to know how this works. Now, we got a second whistleblower who ends up with like the world's worst like chest infection and MRSA at the same time, like an untreatable infection. Like no,
These whistleblowers are unlucky.
it is interesting. Am I
Yeah.
right? Like they just keep dying. It's weird.
Unfortunate.
The first dude got an infection with a bullet.
That
The second dude gets MRSA, which is already kind of unheard
very
of.
common. Both those things happen all the time.
Coupled with some other crazy fucking thing, and he's begging them to just let him die. He's like,
Wow.
just let me die, let me die. Like, so they let him die. But now, so there's 2 whistleblowers in this case, and they've both gone down. And I'm supposed to believe that Boeing is like doing enough to keep me
Doing
safe
the right
in the
thing.
air. And
But more importantly, you're supposed to believe that the Supermax is fine for you to take to a Taylor Swift concert.
dude, I literally. So I'm flying to California next week.
Yeah, but when you go over the Atlantic, the good thing is there's if something happens, there's places you can just land and you'll be fine.
Well, no. You actually can't land, but there's flotation
Oh.
devices under your seat.
Yeah, well, same thing.
And water tension is not the same strength as concrete when you're going
Yeah,
several
It's a-
hundred miles
it's a
an hour.
softer landing.
See, so you understand physics. All is well.
I'm married to a physicist.
All is well. Oh, now you kiss her.
So by osmosis, I'm as smart as she is.
Yeah.
Isn't that how that works?
Are you
Yeah.
going to say the character Dave said this?
No. This is like I'm pretty sure when you soak long enough, you take in the
soaking. That's a throwback.
you take in.
Someone peed in my pants.
That's the cool trick. All the married guys at
Over
20
25
years, do. Yeah.
years, like I'm pretty smart,
You're pretty soaked.
right?
I love when you get these like old references from Dave that makes you realize that he's been listening for
a
years
long
before he
time,
ever
yeah.
came on. Because soaking is the greatest. It's not sex.
I'm not even Mormon, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I do. I saw you.
Game
thought that.
recognized game.
Game recognizes game.
Yeah,
And Dave's been fighting for like the last 2 weeks with that coaster.
yeah. The coaster, the paper towel.
Give me a salt shaker. I know the trick.
Biofreeze.
Are we still talking soaking?
Put some biofreeze on that.
You throw some salt on your coaster and it won't stick to your can.
That's exactly right.
But I don't have
that's
that
what she
here.
said.
I'm trying to be very respectful to this beautiful bar that I understand Brendan constructed by himself, which is awesome. I'm using a Karen coaster, and that, well, actually, dropping it on the floor is out.
Oh, there we go. It's like a fucking magic trick over here. But my point was, I'm way more concerned about Boeing if they're trying to like save their name. They keep killing people, and they're saying
that's a
like-
bad look.
And they keep saying, "Oh no, we care about your safety. We wouldn't have done these things." They care about nobody's safety. They're killing people.
Yeah.
I mean, am I crazy for thinking that they're killing these people?
No, you're not.
You're only as crazy
I mean,
as the
it's
round
a-
earthers.
What is it? They're $4 or $5 billion company. Is that their market cap right now? Like $5 billion?
I don't know.
Right. You would think that they would go out of their way to protect, or at least market that they're protecting their whistleblowers.
Yes.
You would think,
You
but
would think.
instead,
like they should have.
Well, they probably
should have
are, but these
died
guys
in the
just keep
Ritz-Carlton.
dying.
Correct.
They should have died in the Waldorf Astoria.
they're like etching Airbus in the bullet and fucking shooting these people. We found an
What a
Airbus branded
coincidence.
bullet.
That's a coincidence.
All coincidences.
Look, I think Dave mentioned this a few weeks ago. These big corporations, they care and they have our best interests
Literally,
in mind.
all they care about is the people.
Especially if I own their stock.
Yeah. I thought you were going a different route.
No,
Yeah.
no, they care about the people.
Yes.
The money's a byproduct of caring.
They're not in it for the money.
No, it just happened into it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they didn't want it.
No. Not at
Nobody
all.
wants that much.
No.
Yeah.
There's like the cult leader who like, oh, unfortunately, I fucked all the chicks.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't mean to.
No. I'm here for the
Unfortunate byproduct.
enlightenment.
It was an unfortunate
I
byproduct.
fell into all the pussy.
And I banged all your wives.
Yeah.
Unfortunate byproduct. This is Boeing. Boeing's the cult leader. Fucking all them wives.
Well, what's crazy is like that name was synonymous with like
Safety.
and like excellence.
No, like it used to be that I would seek out a Boeing.
Yeah.
And now I am so concerned every time I have a flight to California next week.
How hard is it to not find Boeing flights?
It's not as hard as you would think
Okay.
in America. It's difficult in Europe. We're actually flying a handful of Boeings in Europe. But I'm like, they're short trips.
But to Dave's point, if it's not the Supermax or whatever, the one that's known for falling apart.
But apparently before the MAX, the 900, the 737-900 actually was the
There's some
beginning
problems
of
there.
really
Yeah.
it was the beginning of the downfall. It's the MAX
I watched a documentary
that
on it.
has like all of the
Right. The Max is the Ford Pinto of Boeing.
Okay.
Right.
It's the true downfall when they've really gotten to the point where they're just
Which is
cutting
ironic
corners.
that they call it the max. Like it's like the max. It's the best, right?
best.
But it's not.
But that's marketing.
It's
Yeah.
almost like you can't trust marketers.
Okay, you can. There's good marketers in this world. There's good marketers in this world.
We're
Don't
talking to you, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
That's also a throwback.
see. Look at you. But you were on that episode. I'm not impressed.
Oh, sorry.
The difference is if Stu was here, he'd be like, Chick-fil-A, what happened? And he would have like been here. I'm like, how did you miss that, dude? It's crazy.
No, the difference is if Stu was here, it'd be like, I took a train to DC.
More Stu?
That's it. That's all I got. I got a wild and crazy story. You guys aren't going to believe this.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
We did an excursion on our vacation.
And?
No, that's it. Oh, that wasn't wild and crazy enough for you?
No, I was just waiting for the.
There's more.
Hey, you don't get it. That's on you.
I'll just wait.
We're going to be here a minute.
I just feel like your thoughts are still processed. No, okay. That's cool. No, I'm getting nervous now. Like I'm literally now seeking, like I said, I'm going to California next week and I saw that one of the flights that like fit in my itinerary was on the MAX. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. And I ended up opting for one that had like a much shorter layover. It's actually going to put me in jeopardy.
Right, of
in
missing
other
your
ways.
flight, yeah.
Yeah, like now I'm going to end up stuck in Chicago, which in my mind, I'm like, there's worse fates. But like, I'm like going out of my way to not do it. But now I'm getting more concerned. Like the second killing, which I'm assuming they did somehow through chemical warfare or infectious disease, is like some dirty shit. But it's gotten so bad that like a guy gets an infection and dies, and I go, "Oh, man, did that." You know, like I'm starting to treat them like Russia. I'm really starting to look at Boeing like they're Russia. Like whenever I see a reporter in Russia get some fucking crazy like respiratory infection, I'm like, them motherfuckers killed him.
I almost wonder if you had a tinfoil hat, if you would be less susceptible to this.
So you think if I'm just on a Boeing 737 MAX and I got a tinfoil hat on, I'm going to make it?
No, I mean when you're placing your order.
I would. Wouldn't that be nice if I put a tinfoil hat on and the results just don't show Max's?
Right.
That would be fucking dope.
No, but I mean, I know what you're getting at, but it is funny. Like we have a trip planned in December, and it's like I'm not getting on the Supermax, and I didn't even know about either one of these mysterious deaths that you brought up. But now I'm very proud that I'm not on the Supermax.
Yeah, because you've just heard that like doors are flying off of these bitches. They're plummeting from the sky, which they said was a software issue that they've now apparently fixed. Which I hope is correct. But they haven't retrofitted every single fucking
Did a plane
door.
crash?
Yes.
How many? Just one?
We've had two literally plummet from the sky that went all the way to the ground.
Autopiloted to the ground.
No. Pilots are literally pulling back and
that's
nothing
what I'm
happens.
saying. Yeah, the autopilot was like,
It's like, fuck you.
yeah. They
It's
couldn't
like-
I'm
override
sorry,
it.
Dave. We cannot pull up.
No, that's exactly what it was, like a HAL situation.
Yeah.
Like literally where like it's just like, no, you can't. Your controls don't work. We need to go straight to the ground. It's the only safe way. Like as far as the
It's not though.
well, we know that.
Oh, okay.
But the
So
computer
I can
does
be a
not.
pilot?
You could die as a pilot, yeah, on these planes. But now they're
Or
finding.
passenger.
So this guy who died today, his whole thing was he was calling it out early that the
You
way
mean last week when he died?
that's right.
Yeah.
As they were drilling the holes, he was like, the way that they're seating these holes is not right, which is the exact problem that blew the doors off. And he's been calling this out for quite a while, and he's continued to call it out. And he was like a low key whistleblower.
He was very like low on the totem pole.
Yeah, and he's like, he's not being crazy. He's like, I'm not saying they didn't fix it. It's just every time I brought it up, I was told not to because we still had deadlines to meet. Oof. He's not the guy who's like, no, fuck this. He's still trying to be cordial in his
Yeah.
whistleblowing. He's blowing very lightly on the whistle, you know?
Right.
Like he's not blowing hard. And they
what she said.
merced him.
They murdered.
That's
fucking
such a
crazy.
weird way to kill somebody.
But do you think they could have done it? Like, do you think they've got little vials of like?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely.
Too. All right, so I'm starting to wonder if I'm.
Well, let me
fading into
throw
conspiracy
a little first person scenario. So
You
You
killed him.
did it?
no.
That's what I heard.
No, that's all I heard.
Unrelated story. In the depths,
That's what I would say.
A friend of mine, Maeve, did it.
in the depths
The M stands for mercy.
in the depths of the COVID shutdowns and everything in 2021, I got diagnosed with leukemia. And my friends that are conspiracy theorists said, "Did you get a vaccine?" I'm like, yes. Ding, 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 ding.
You got the leukemia vaccine?
I got the leukemia from the vaccine.
Bro, you got leukemia? This is
I
a whole
do.
other topic.
I don't talk about all my issues.
Hold on, you have leukemia right now?
I do, but I have like the Greg LeMond leukemia, which is like
Like you hit
So you're gonna
low key.
Hold on,
Different-
dude. This is like a
Different Greg.
Like,
No,
That's
no, no, no.
Luganus.
Oh, Leganis, that's it. Yeah.
Dave's going to become an excellent bike rider.
yeah, he's got the calves of a leukemia
Yeah,
patient.
But let me just say, before I ever took a vaccine, I just had a yearly physical, and what I didn't know at the time, but what I was told by my PCP was, your white blood cell levels are a little high. Could be just an infection. Take these antibiotics. I didn't take the antibiotics because I didn't fill my prescription. And
What the hell does that doctor know?
right? And that was like
What is happening?
that was like 6 months before this vaccine. And so then COVID's going crazy. I take the vaccine, and then
Leukemia.
4 months later, I'm like, oh, this bulge in my stomach is getting pretty bad, and I've lost like a lot of weight. Let me go get checked out. And I get checked out, and it's like, well, now your white blood cell count is like, I think a normal person has like 5,000 per blah blah blah. I had 300,000 when I got
That's
checked.
way more.
What is
A
happening?
little bit more. And if you're over like 20,000, you have leukemia. I had 300,000. So before, when I had my physical, I had like 10,000, which that's borderline.
Pre-leukemia.
That's because
PL.
an infection is like 7,000, 8,000 to 11,000. So it could have been that. But I didn't know. And I was an idiot. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But my whole point is that a lot of my friends are like, you got the leukemia from the vaccine. Didn't you? And I know definitively I do not. But without that information, I would probably be like, I think I got it from the vaccine. Right?
Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Can we take a step back, dude? Like, I still want to talk.
It's not that big a deal.
Well, it kind of is. I don't. Do you know what leukemia is?
No, it's bad, but it was very fatal 25 years ago. But Big Pharma stepped up, and now I'm fine.
Yeah, they gave you leukemia so they could treat your leukemia.
Right.
Okay. Do you still currently have leukemia?
Of course, yeah. The funny thing is,
Did
so
they not cure it?
you guys don't know me pre-leukemia. Pre-leukemia Dave, the character, was fucking
way-
crazy and would party every single night and party till 2 a.m. and still go to work and function at a high level. Post-leukemia Dave Abel is like, I get tired at 10 p.m. and I sleep like a regular person. And my friends that have known me for years are like, leukemia Dave is like a normal person.
Yeah. I was about to say that. I was like,
Hold on. So this is an upgrade?
I mean, it depends on, like, to my wife, it's a downgrade because she married
Fun
the
guy.
character that parties all the time and is the life of the party. And this new Dave is like very demure and relaxed and calm and goes to bed at a regular time. And it's very foreign after 20 plus years of marriage. But
Is he just are you dying?
no, not at all. I have a Greg leukemia version. You take a pill,
Greg leukemia?
Yeah.
double episode. Greg LeMond version of it. It's fine. I'm not dying. I'm not dying. I mean,
Well, we're all dying.
15% chance, but back in the day, it was like an 89% chance.
It's very interesting. He's using Greg LeMond because Greg LeMond doesn't have leukemia.
He does. Look it up.
He was shot.
No, that was in 1989. He has leukemia after I got diagnosed. Greg LeMond got
Oh,
diagnosed.
so this is a recent diagnosis with.
So
Greg
then
LeMond.
he should have the Dave leukemia.
No.
Right.
So, no, it's just
Yeah.
interesting because I thought you were mixing up.
No, not at all.
American cycling.
No,
heroes.
Greg LeMond got diagnosed either in 23 or 22 with the exact same leukemia I have, and he was like,
So it's
"Man,
not called the Greg LeMond.
It's not.
So this is some low level.
There are
leukemia
6
that-
leukemias. 4 of them are really bad. All 6 of them were really bad 25 years ago. Like you would die from.
So you
all
can
of them.
maintain this, like you
Yeah.
You can take a pill
Yep.
and live a normal life.
Yes. I mean, allegedly. We'll see what happens. I don't know if any whistleblowers have been assassinated yet.
Is this mind blowing to you that we're
Yeah.
hearing this?
Yeah,
on the
that.
air?
But it
Yeah.
didn't surprise me that he wouldn't put that out there.
I'm not gonna put it-
initially.
But then he put it out there on the air.
Because it worked with the topic we were
story.
talking about.
Oh, I get it.
There's lots
And-
of things you don't know about me.
And I respect that you were like, it'd be good for pod. Hey, I have cancer. Oh, what?
This could just be a character talking.
Right. Like the real Dave doesn't have that shit.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's good news.
Dave, let's just get down.
I'm
to,
fine. It's
Let's
seriously
just, no, let's
a
get,
story.
Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's just be serious for a minute. Okay?
Sure.
For 1 minute. Mm-hmm. If you're dying,
I'm not.
No, just listen. Hear me out, okay?
Right. I will still not ride a Supermax.
No, just hear me out. If you're dying,
Mm-hmm.
and on your deathbed you realize you didn't sell me your Jeep Wrangler at a really discounted rate, wouldn't you feel horrible about yourself?
Well, here's the thing. I know where you're getting at. I would feel horrible if your daughter broke down on the way to like Virginia Beach to go to a show. I
Taylor
would feel completely awful that even if I sold it to you for the most ridiculous, if I gave it to your daughter, which I'm not going to do, and it broke down, I would feel horrible.
I'm with you on that.
Oh, so you don't want to sell it to somebody because you don't want to have to see what it does down the road.
Right.
He don't want to leave you
I understand
somewhere.
It's not a Toyota. It's not a Honda.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried that thing might break down. Like
it could
it's
break in
fine.
100 miles. It could break in 100,000 miles.
Correct.
And you don't want to be part of either.
And much like I was going to sell a mower, and you inquired into it,
He literally said, I will not sell you this mower.
I can show you my Facebook Messenger. I have like 1,000 messages on that mower, and I don't even respond to them because I'm not like, look, see the green and yellow? It's
Yeah.
all those are all
That's a
people
lot.
like, yeah, no, I have like,
Why have you not sold it yet?
because I feel guilty. Like it keeps going.
Then why don't you just lower the price to a point where you don't have to feel guilty?
I'm going to do that, but it's not a big concern right now, except to my wife, who's like, get that fucking thing out
You're
of
a
my
very
yard.
interesting dude. You put shit online and you put a high price, and then people are like, yeah, that
Yeah, I'll
sounds
take it.
great.
I'll take
but
it.
you know you're screwing them, so you refuse to sell it. I think this is actually like a mechanism that you do so that you don't have to sell it.
Oh, I don't want it. I have a fucking awesome tractor.
So sell it for like $500.
I just haven't gotten to it. I will do that.
I'm talking about the Jeep.
I consider myself a salesman, but an ethical one.
Yeah, that's always a difficult place.
Those
I
two
have the
words don't
same-
go together.
Well,
I have the same
they
problem.
Do. They do.
It's tough though.
They do. If you believe in your product or your item,
Yes, that's exactly
then
right.
you command a premium, and you will not. And I've been very successful with that throughout my life, either professionally or personally. And then when I have something that on its face is valuable, but I don't believe in it, it concerns me, and it's very difficult for me to sell. Even though, like you saw on my phone, I have, without exaggeration, I have 90 something people that want to buy this mower for $1,000, and I'm like, I'm not going to answer because if I had all the information about it, I wouldn't pay $1,000 for it. And that's my whole thing. Like, if I would pay X number of dollars, I'm going to sell it for that, and I will sell it for that. And I'm a cheapskate too, so I'm already discounting my stuff. So
This one's a weird.
me.
This one's
It is
weird.
weird.
Though. I think you should go through and look at all those people's profiles until you find that person that looks like.
that sucks.
No, but no, like they're deserved. No.
I
other-
pick
I
you,
would say-
sir.
No, I would go the other way. I'd find that person that you're like, this person seems deserving, and be like, hey, I noticed you inquired about it. You still interested? And then cut the price in half, and then you can feel good about it.
Yeah.
Tell them everything that's wrong with it. Go, I'm gonna do you a solid, $500.
I think what I'm going to do is cut my price in half and say
This thing's fucked.
This might need a new whopping $200 transmission that'll take you an afternoon to install. After that's done, it's worth over $1,000, but I'm going to sell it for $500 and see what happens.
Yeah, I think then your conscience will feel good. That's the move.
I'm lazy at the same time. So.
Well, we just went through a lot with Dave. Like we just unpacked
did.
a lot
Yeah.
of shit. There's a lot.
I
going
like
on.
it better
We
when I
learned a
make
lot.
fun of myself.
Yeah, no, we're gonna. You've killed the episode. Effectively gave the episode leukemia.
Right. The good leukemia, not the bad leukemia.
I don't know a good leukemia. No one ever said, no, thank God. Look, I put on 10 pounds of muscle.
No,
I have the good leukemia.
I have the good leukemia. Yeah. Like, I'll put it to you this way. You will never catch me wearing a cancer ribbon or a I survived t-shirt because
Boy, what a defeatist.
it's not that serious.
Will this progress into a greater leukemia? Can it?
I am susceptible to other cancers. That's why I don't go out in the sun and look like a
You are
freaking
pale.
vampire.
You are super pale.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yep. But I'm not gonna milk that. I'm not trying.
Ah, milk. I feel like I need to be like more gentle with Dave now. Like I
I don't want that.
That was the whole reason why he didn't say anything, I think.
This is weird.
Yeah.
This
That's why he
is
gets to
going
park
great.
close at your house.
Is the what?
Is that why he gets to park so close at your house?
Yeah, that's the handicap spot.
Right.
I give him.
I'm
first.
pulling the driveway next weekend, and Brandon will be like, "Well, he has leukemia."
Yeah, I'll say to my wife, be like, I can't back out. Be like, he's fucking sick.
Yeah. We don't know how much longer.
Yeah.
He's got to park up front.
He's basically got 40 years.
I
That's
mean-
it.
Let's just say, if I had real cancer, real leukemia, I would be milking that. I'm not milking this, and I've had it. I've got diagnosed in like September of 21 before I ever met you. I was still a listener.
But now I shouldn't. I still feel bad. This got weird. This got
You
weird.
don't feel bad.
I'm going to shut it down. We're calling this an episode.
Sorry, listeners.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to send money to our Venmo account, we'll send it to Dave. What is our Venmo, Troy?
At Inside the Pallet House on Venmo.
Hey, have you gotten any donations in the last week?
Yeah, we got one from Joe. He bought this.
No. What about
More recently.
more recently in the last week?
Let me look. Let me pull
I
it
can
up.
check. I can check right here too. See who gets there first.
Oh, some leukemia kid.
That's before the story came out.
Oh shit! Yeah, next week's beer.
Why is there skull and crossbones next to your name? Too soon.
Why does it say "pity me"?
Oh my God.
got weird. Hey Ray, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Looking forward to more squeezing lemons in the new version.
The new
format.
format's going to
New
be
format,
awesome.
yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
It's
I
called
think that's
squeezing lemon.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
My God.
If you have topics you want to send us, do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We'd be glad to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, and then we can talk about it full circle. The circle of life. If you need a pair of sunglasses, head over to nectarsunglasses.com. Drop ITPH in the coupon code. You'll get 20% off what was already a reasonably priced sunglass. And if you need a mortgage, head over to screendoormortgage.com and Jimmy will take care of you. He will take what's already... I saw you stare, that threw me off. It'll take what's already a difficult situation and make it a lot easier. That much I can assure you. And he will do his best to find you a rate that is fantastic. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good double, don't you think?
Gas. It ended on a low note.
R.I.P. Dave. He will be missed.
Yes, I'll leave it at that.
How long is this gonna go?
You don't know the song yet? He's back! Oh my god! Is he a ghost? Can I just slip my hand right through him?
Like fucking powder over there.
Great flick. Documentary. Powder, the Dave Abel story.
I really fucked that up.
See you on the other side, brother.